Day 2 of the AGORA Project Working Group meeting commenced with an overview of Day 1's activity. This was done by Mr. Kelechi Mba, National Ozone Officer, representing the Director, National Ozone Office, Engineer Idris Abdullah.
I've been directed to stand in for the Director. He's attending another meeting in the ministry, but he will later join us. So before he joins us, we are going to start. So the meeting commenced when we came. We did a national prayer, introduction, the welcome address by the Director, National Ozone Office in Idris Abdullah. The chairman asked us to agree to the whatever that we did yesterday, and two people moved the motion to adopt the agree to the what we discussed. The first person was Engineer John Bature from that organization, and Mr. Jude Jime, country manager of Elan Expo. So this event was concluded.
After which, a report on the market assessment of RAC rebate scheme in Nigeria was presented by Dr. Omon Rosaline Dania. The virtual session highlighted the clear relationship between awareness of rebate programs and willingness to participate in a rebate program.
Okay, therefore, in terms of the critical barriers to adoption, we found high upfront costs, topping the list with 50%, followed by low consumer awareness, which is 46%. Then we have power supply issues, 39%, and then limited supply, which is 31%. So financial constraints and information gaps remain dominant deterrents in the SME sector. And then in terms of awareness and willingness, the findings show a clear relationship between awareness of rebate programs and willingness to participate in a rebate program.
The presentation also put forward effective financing mechanisms for adoption. There were questions and contributions after the first presentation.
I don't have data, or I don't know if you have data on the categories of ACs that are currently being in households. For instance, is it 1 horsepower?
Data. You said data on categories of what?
Air conditions.
The type of AC we are trying to migrate to in terms of energy efficiency, they are more expensive than the conventional air conditioners we are used to. We are actually campaigning for air conditioners that have variable speed compressors and not the fixed speed compressors.
What I mean is if customers or whoever is in charge, if they do their own bid too, then it's balanced. You won't go and buy something that is inefficient if it is not available.
The second presentation focused on the financial mechanism for energy efficient RAC in Nigeria, also presented by Dr. Omon Dania. Validation of the two reports as well as recommendations by stakeholders was then carried out. A subcommittee was then constituted to do a detailed review of the reports.
So now let's set up a smaller group now, a small working group. Let's nominate, or we can ask for volunteers for a small working group, a group of about 5 people. You know, where I volunteer to be in that group. Okay. Yes.
The Ozone Office. The
Ozone Office for
finance.
Yes. I won't be available. I'm sorry, sir.
The public. Okay.
So we have it. So please, who is taking note of this? She's taking note. Okay. So we have E for E, SNOO, E for E, Stradef, our consultants, the SOL, and the Scholar Working Group. The implementation of this project is going to be anchored on these documents. That's why we need to get it right here.
The first report presented was then adopted by the key stakeholders present at the event.
Motion for adoption of the first report, then seconded by somebody else. Okay, sir.
I, Timothy Ngaramuke, hereby move for the adoption of the first report.
That number supports the movement of the adoption of the first report.
Okay. So by this, the first report, which is the financial, which most of that first report, the market assessment, so it's already adopted by the working group.
Once we have gathered everything and we are forwarded, we are going to continue to move to the next step. And to move to the next step, what is the next step? Way forward.
So, sir, after we have agreed on the review of the recommendations here, so we will now communicate to our funders for the implementation phase.
For the implementation phase of the reports. And as usual, the way we work in the zone office, we carry along every member of the working group so that we implement this project successfully. And I will ensure that at least charity begins at home. The scheme can start from ourselves. We start from ourselves and see how then we're all Nigerians. Spread it. Yeah. And aside from this, all other of our projects, we invite people to be part of it, to contribute, as usual. Thank you so much, and I wish you a safe trip back to your respectful destination. Okay, let's hope that Agora.